everyone, and welcome back to the Future Talks conducted by Prayaana Labs. My name is Chelsea Sunil, and I'll be your host for the day. I'm going to begin with an introduction to Prayaana. Prayaana is a unique employability, entrepreneurship, and innovation ecosystem for women. Prayaana Labs give wholesome career support services right from career counseling, training, mentoring, and recruitment services, all coming under one umbrella. So do check us out at www.prayaana.org. And in case you like what you see, please at prayaana.in or by downloading the Prayaana app. Now, this is basically a community hub. It's a place where women can come together, share their queries, their ideas, and their thoughts with women of similar interests. The idea behind the platform was to create a space where women can come together despite the geographical locations and boundaries. And now we will be launching hubs in each of your locations so that you guys can organize events and even start ventures together. So don't forget to download the Prayaana app. So this is Prayaana Collective. Prayaana Collective is a venture of Prayaana. It's unique in the attribute that it is India's first e-commerce platform that is dedicated to the empowerment of women. The platform is uniquely designed with an attractive affiliate marketing model where all the customers are given an opportunity for lifetime earnings and savings. So in case you're looking for authentic handmade products, we have plenty of those made by extremely talented women. So be sure to check us out at www.prakol.com. So in case during the session you guys have any queries, please feel free to post it as a comment in the live chat box below and we'll get back to you at the end of the session. So now we're going to go into the session. This session for today is on the topic how to enable and increase people productivity virtually post-COVID. The session is taken by Mr. Vinod Sreedharan, who is the founder and CEO of iGen Innovations. With over 3 decades of enriching experience in organization behavior, talent acquisition, management development, Vinod Sreedharan has created a place for himself as a credible HR professional in the industry. He has held HR leadership roles in companies like TVS Group, ABB, AstraZeneca, Idea Software Private Limited, UST Global, and Marksville Group Inc. He has won the top 100 HR professionals and most innovative HR leaders awards presented by World HRD Congress. He holds certifications in Harrison Assessments and is also a certified recruiter from Carleton University in association with Middle Earth Consultant. He is a member of the Rotary International Club and has held positions in Rotary District 3190. He has been the past president in the year 2016-17 at Rotary Club of Platinum City and currently holds the position of Vocational Chair, Professional Advancement in the Rotary District 3190. A very warm welcome to the show, sir, and over to you.
Thank you, and a very warm good evening to everyone who have logged in. Let me just share my screen. All right, so I'm not sure, am I audible? Is my volume okay?
Yes, sir, you are.
Let me on with it. Yeah, there's a light twist to the topic given, yes, but there's not much of a change. But then I just added a little bit of a high performance to the entire topic virtually. So we're all in a great situation at this point of time, and COVID is really driven us to the wall of desperateness, I would say, and we're all searching for various aspects of business, various aspects of performance, various aspects of how to succeed in such a critical situation. Our ancestors in our early days taught us, we either perform or we perish, and that's what is the That's what is the mantra of today also, that if we don't perform, we either sustain the performance, or we perish in the entire scenario of today, right? So the online has come into a lot of uh, visibility today, and that's giving us a lot of usefulness to people as to why we should go online, right? And today's students also are going online. Schools have started online coaching. Schools have started online lessons. Teachers are coming out and saying, "Oh wow, what a uh, uh, what a fantastic way of teaching children these days," right? Now their performance is also started being to be noticed, uh, well, today's teacher, normally teachers used to teach in the class, and then we parents do not know what is going on in the school. So today we know that, hey, what teachers are teaching, and they're also pretty careful in getting on to online coaching, and then they're also very careful in talking to children, and all those aspects. I see it personally in my house. So that's very, very interesting fact, that schools have also realized that performance is very, very important. So what I'm going to really deal with today is three aspects. One is the high performance, one is an accelerated performance, and one the last one is definitely a high performance in an agile way, creating a high performance team in an agile way. Now it's very important that we've been, I told you this before also, we've been only taught from school days. Even when I remember of my young days, my parents always said, perform, 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 or you'll perish. Is it a fact or a myth? I don't know. I mean, I today when you really see, it is definitely a fact. But do I see this as a do I see this as a future everywhere? Yes, it is. But it is not from a perspective uh, of a competition, but it's from a perspective of collaboration. And that is what is more important. It's not from a perspective of motivation, but it's from a perspective of inspiration. But the perception has changed. It was motivation. It was competition, but today it is more collaboration and inspiration. And when we get inspired to do certain things, we try to learn and collaborate, and we try to learn and ensure that we need to succeed together rather than individually. So, and that is what is the world today. And it's a fact. It was a myth that, oh, when people collaborate and when people don't compete, we don't get our position in the market today. But it's not. It's no more. It's no more a situation today. Until unless we collaborate and we work in a team together, we cannot take the we cannot succeed. And that is what is happening to the country also today, right? Now, if we did not have such an efficient prime minister like Narendra Modi, who brought in a sort of a collaborative approach to fight this dreaded pandemic called COVID-19, we wouldn't have reached this stage. And India is doing much, 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 much better than the other countries today. And that's nothing but perform. And that's nothing but perform through collaboration, perform through inspiration. What inspired him? The country inspired him. He wanted to keep the country together. He wanted to have this country together through collaborative effort. So he collaborated all the states together, and then today he's doing pretty well, and India is doing pretty well. And that is what is perform or perish for uh, today's world. Well, moving on, we are in a world of VUCA. Well, what is VUCA? Well, even today's students should realize that no more. I'm sure. I'm sure in this entire webinar, I think there would be some students also who would be listening to this session, right? So VUCA is nothing but understanding volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, and that's the world today. It's completely uncertain, completely complex, completely ambiguous, completely volatile. Why volatile? Change in nature, change in dynamics, change in rate and speed. Until unless we have a dynamic leader who has got a vision to take an action across and probe those changes, make it in an agile way to achieve that objective by taking that right risks. Well, let me give you an example. You must all be seeing that today. Today, our political system is taking that risks to take action and to bring in that change, to face that changes. Today, our leaders are taking that changes. Today, organizations are taking those changes. Today, the organization is taking those risks to fight the volatile situation. The speed at which the change is happening, it's so difficult to bring in that sort of that sort of uh, success. And that unpredictability, those potential surprises, those outcomes has to be changed to understanding where we need to go further. Take it in a different perspective, take it in a positive perspective. And that dealing of uncertainty and converting into an understanding scenario is what is required today. Even today's students do not, many of the students would have had a lot of career counseling and a career focus uh, uh, before the COVID-19 situation, right? Well, today they want to rethink that. Well, I can give you an example of my friend's son who did an hotel management course. Well, hotels are doing bad. Food industry is doing good. Until unless he's experienced in kitchen and becoming a chef, otherwise the hotel industry is doing pretty bad. So what do we do? How do we look at viable solutions to these? Is hotel management a career? Yes, it could be a career, but it has to be a changed career. It has to be into a different perspective. And that complexity, that focus, that flexibility, and that creativity needs to happen in every field of education. That creativity and flexibility needs to happen in every organizational goals, and the organizational dynamics need to change at this point of time. And if you realize that this ambiguity is going to exist in a long term, because what you think is what you not what is the what you don't see, and that decision making and that innovations need to come in. More innovations need to come in, and that's where the online coaching is catching up today. And that is where we need to think about experiential learning. How can we do this experiential learning through online? And that's the creativity that I'm thinking from my business perspective. So VUCA plays a very important role from a perspective of how you drive and how you bring in a change and meet the demands of the current situation of the market, whether it be it education, whether it be it industry, whether it be it any of the fields that we are getting into. Well, from that perspective, how are we running on time? Great. From that perspective, we think of creating a lot of virtual teams, right? Well, let me even before we get into the virtual teams, I'm sure many of you in this group must be CEOs, many of you must be VPs, many of you must be head of departments today, or many of you must be students also, right? Or many of you must be professors also in this group. How many of us really have understood our own team while well before the COVID-19 situation? We were doing a literal rat race. We are running a rat race. What was a rat race? Achieving the goals of the organization, getting the revenues of the getting maximum revenues into the organization, getting maximization of profits, looking at our bottom line is definitely good, our top line is very good, our sales revenues are good, our educational system is pretty good. What do we do to improve the educational system? How many of us have really gotten into understanding what is our team comprises of? Is my team happy? Is my individual person happy? Have you inquired about his family? Have you inquired about his individual house matters? Today, I'm seeing that in various online working from home situation, in various online aspects, we get to know their family. We get to know, oh, they have pets, oh, they have a dog at home, oh, they have aquarium at home. We get to see the house through online coaching. So the socio-economical process is of building a trust, building a relationship building is very important. Even if you have to accomplish your assigned task and goal, and if you combine these two, your performance would be at the peak. Your performance would be really at all time high, and you get a total satisfaction. And that design, that culture, that sort of a training, that sort of a input, inquiring about the families, inquiring about inquiring about your team, understanding their composition of families, have building that trust, communicating with them, gives you that success in the virtual teams. And that's how you create high performance teams. We always used to think before pre-COVID that, oh, working from home, what will be they be doing from home? They'll be working at home, or they'll be working for home, right? Today, when you have no choice, suddenly you all notice, oh, productivity has gone high. People are working 12 hours, 14 hours a day at home. Deliverables are coming on time. Why? Because you're continuously monitoring them, you're continuously understanding what is happening, you're continuously asking them what is happening. At the same time, you also try to give them some fringe benefits, some sort of aspect, so that they also get inspired to work from home. Today motivation doesn't work, today inspiration works. Well, if you really see this, I'm sure you must have come across this V formation of bird features. Well, we all walk, we all fly, we all go towards sharing a common goal. And how do we share that common goal? We all follow the leader. We all follow the dynamic leader. We ensure that the leader doesn't get tired. If the leader is getting tired, one of the person coming behind takes over the position of a leader and gives a break to the leader. And that sort of a visibility is seen by the team members as to where are we to achieve those goals, how are we to achieve those goals. And one sort of a mistake in the entire V formation, the entire thing crashes. Have you seen, if people have seen aircraft flyings, forming V formations in aircraft flyings, in air shows? Yes, I've also seen one small mistake by the leader, the entire plane crashes. That means that visibility is not there. And the leaders try to be autocritic there. They don't become collaborative. They don't seek help, or people don't help them also. People don't help the leaders also. We've heard of the word empower. We have to empower people. If you don't empower people, you will forget to lead. You will forget to succeed. Recognition is very, very important. Very, very important. Well, people get inspired by recognizing. And it's very, very important. Children get recognized. Children get motivated, right? You recognize a child for a good work. And that's the inspiration that you need to give to every person in the team. And at any point of challenging time, you're offering a support to the entire team, telling that, hey, I'm there, don't worry, we will make it happen. Let's see how it happens. And I want to give an example of a movie called Chak De, India. I mean, it's a wonderful movie, and you learn everything. You learn everything in that movie. The leader offering support in the challenging times, recognizing the good work, empowering others to lead, seeking help. What help do you want? And he had only one common goal in that movie, is to win the World Cup for the women's hockey team. I give this example everywhere in my speech, because it's very inspiring. Every movie is very inspiring. If you have seen the movie called Mission Mangal, it's the same aspect. You stay committed to the purpose. You stay committed to the core values, and that's very important. Well, very, very. This is a source from Hedrick and Struggle research. But what I see is the acceleration happens through a good leader. And if you have an individual leader who is very, very understanding, collaborative, inspires the team, and takes the team to the next level, and that is what can really lead the company to higher revenue, higher profits. What do you need? What do you need for a high performance team? I mean, virtually also. I mean, when you're at this point of time working from home, all of you are working from home. Stability. Define the roles of each of these people. What are you going to do? It may remain same as you were working in the office. You're working from home. Your roles may remain same, but give them that empowerment. Give them that confidence that, hey, we need to mutually trust each other. And if we have a strong leadership and a clear focus, I'm sure this high performance is definitely. I mean, clear example. Well, in my house, people work from home, and I see that very clearly. My wife is the head of HR, so she's she's the head of HR of a company. Her CEO clearly builds that mutual trust, strong leadership, very clear focus as to what needs to be done. And productivity is very high and high performance is achieved. Well, it's very, very important to sustain this high performance organization. It's very, very important. If we do not understand the purpose starting from our people, and if we do not build that performance culture, if we don't build that energetic culture, if we don't build that value-based culture, we are not going to achieve our purpose and we are not going to retain our people. It's very important. In this kind of a situation, there could be job losses. There could be, an individual should have very fierce conversation with your people, with people who are not contributing to the success of the organization. You need to have a social investment in people. You need to have a definite purpose, an aim, an empathy, and a compassion. If that leadership is achieved with a purpose and with a value-based culture, and at the same time reward people for their good work, reprimand people for no contributions, well, business is business. Well, no business is driven for charity, but at the same time, you also need to understand that, hey, if we need to achieve the goals of the business, we need to build in clear goals, align the goals to the company's objectives, have a very, very valuable and effective communication. Well, I have a friend of mine who's a CEO of a company, who's one of the youngest CEO. The way he has managed this entire situation, well, each of his employees supports him to the core. Why? Because he's brought in that empathy and compassion. He's brought in that presence and influence in people. He inspires people. At the same time, he is very, very assertive. Where he has to have fierce conversation, he definitely has a fierce conversation. And he also brings in a performance culture. Thereby, he's not really worried whether his company will make a profit or not make a profit. He's very sure that his company will definitely make a profit. Because he brings in innovation, he brings in collaboration, he brings in a sort of a level of trust in employees. He gains trust, he earns that trust also from employees. And that's very important to create high performance teams. And what do we need to have? Well, we need to have a high performance team. We need to have an accelerated performance team. Well, we all know that we need to be customer is first. We all have heard this, right? It's very clear that we are committed to purpose. We are committed to clear priorities. We are committed to ambitions. We're committed to energizing. We need energizing leaders. We need empowerment. We need role models. At the same time, we start executing certain things in a very simple way. No bureaucracy, no politics, lean processes, low-cost processes. Imbibe a culture of deliverables. Imbibe a culture of performance. But all these, through innovation, through challenge, through collaboration, but all these cannot happen if you don't have that proactiveness, if you don't have that foresight as to what is going to happen in the future. Well, nobody expected this situation. if companies were proactive enough, they would build up cash reserves to manage at difficult times. That's foresightedness. Think ahead, plan. Changing circumstances can happen anytime. It can happen anytime because anything can happen. Whatever mistakes you have conducted, learn quickly and then revive out of it, improve continuously, adapt to the situation, recover quickly from setbacks. Another quick example I wanted to give it to you was that my friend, again, was same friend who was a CEO of a company, a packaging industry. His factory caught fire. I mean, the way he adapted to the situation, the way he brought resilience, the way he had learnings, the way he had foresightedness, he managed it pretty well. In 2 months, he brought it back to shape, and today he's running the production without any loss of customer, without any failure to deliver his deliverables to the customer. Well, that's a challenge. That's a real challenge, and that's an innovative collaboration. Chelsea, am I good on time?
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you. So when you really see the challenge and when you really see that collaboration happening, when you see the innovations happening, you automatically get inspired to win at every stage. So it's a cycle. You mobilize, you execute, you transform, you become agile, and again you start mobilizing. Again you start mobilizing. Then you become, okay, I need to gain customers. I cannot lose any customers at this point of time. At the same time, many of the business entrepreneurs fail because they run behind new customers rather than retaining the existing customers. We do not focus on the customer attrition. We focus on gathering new customers. Yes, gathering new customers is very, very important. But 80% of your business comes from the existing customers. The rest 20% comes from your new customers. So focus on your existing customers. See how you can reward your existing customers. See how you can retain your existing customers. And that is more important. And that can happen only through inspiring leaders. And if that inspiring leaders is there with a purpose and with clear priorities, and I'm sure that level of trust and collaboration created in employees. I'm sure most of you must have read the book called Employees First, Customers Next, written by HCL chairman. I mean, that's a wonderful book. Of course, employees are very important. People are your asset of the company. But he doesn't say ignore the customer. But if you have your people, then they'll deliver to the customer. That is what is the meaning. Well, and that is how you grow from a small working group. How do you create a high performing team? Your high performing team is the utmost team maturity level or team effectiveness, and with that performance impact and with that team effectiveness, you can achieve that high performing team. And that high performing team, as I told you in my previous slides, can be achieved only through this features: defined roles, mutual trust, strong leadership, clear focus, clear purpose, good foresightedness, at the same time, quick learning, recover quickly from your setbacks, give you an accelerated performance. It is applied not only at the leadership level, but it is also applied level below. And that can only happen if the leader does that. Your team also starts imbibing that culture. If you have a strong leader that way, then I'm sure things will be very smooth sailing and there is no hurdle in achieving this high performance team. You may have questions in terms of, hey, is practical enough? I have seen it. It is practical enough. Thank you very much. And I think it's question time. I just took 40 minutes to complete this presentation. Any questions, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So there's a question by Dr. Srikumar V. Question is, sir, how can we maintain and improve the performance during dynamic environment?
How can we improve the performance during the dynamic environment? Your environment is not changed. Your environment is same. It's only the situation that has changed. The dynamism needs to be coming in you. The dynamism needs to come in because the change, as I told you, if I go into the first slide that I showed, the VUCA, your dynamism is nothing but you need to look at into a different perspective. You need to look at into a different whatever profession you are into. I'm not sure what profession is he into, but then whatever profession you are into, if you consider your team, to be with you as a leader need to change your purpose. You as a leader need to change your focus. You as a leader need to be more creative. You as a leader need to quickly make decisions that can change and that can innovate lot of aspects and bring and gather attention of your team. And that is how you can change the entire dynamism. You can change the entire influence into people. There will be potential surprises. There will be hurdles. There will be roadblocks. That shouldn't paralyze your entire contribution, right? That's my answer.
Okay, sir.
Hope I've answered, Sri Kumar.
So the next question is from Nobin Matthew. So his question is, what should be the top 3 essential skills that a leader requires at this tough situation?
The answer is on the slide. Well, top 3, if you tell me, build the mutual trust with your team. Build that mutual trust, earn that mutual trust, be with them, be stable, define clear roles, and have a common purpose. Please share your common purpose as to what you want to achieve finally. That only can become a high performance leader.
Okay. So now the next question is from Muralidhar Ayanar. His question is, how can a single leader meet every individual aspirations?
How can I know Murali. Murali is a naval captain of a ship. Well, he's a wonderful leader himself. But how do I? Well, can you repeat that question, please?
How can a single leader meet every individual's aspirations?
Communicate with them. Communicate with them. Communicate with them. Until unless you communicate and understand what their aspirations are, communicate and understand what their issues are, challenges are, where they want to go, how do they want to build up their career. I told you, pre-COVID days, we were all doing a rat race. Today, we sit and understand every individual's aspirations and inspirations as to what they want to do. What are they doing? How is their family? What is their family composition? So this is how you need to communicate with each of these individuals. And if your team is huge, if your team is large, your second line needs to be trained in such a way. And that's all how you can inspire them and make them more dynamic, and you earn that respect, and you earn that you earn them towards you.
So the next question is from Benny.
Well, I should say, Murli, the management and the leadership lessons are learned from the defense, and they are the perfect tested to the core. And that's what is organization management is also going through today.
Okay, sir. So next question, we have a few more questions. It's from Benny Kurtungalangara. No organization had anticipated and planned the current changing circumstances due to COVID-19. Any specific advices to increase productivity for employees who are working from home?
Well, I thought the entire presentation was to increase productivity for working from home. Well, the only answer to them to increase productivity is do not ever have apprehensions on what they are doing from home. If we have that apprehensions, you cannot gain their trust, and that trust only can be gained. Yes, you need to have review mechanisms. You need to have management reviews. That's a different aspect. But during the review mechanisms, you always try to inspire them to ensure that, hey, don't worry, I'm there as a leader to back you up. And that is more important.
So the next question is from Rangalakshmi Netralaya.
Sorry. Just to add to that situation again, today employees are always also having the fear psychosis of, hey, I may lose my job when I go back. So please communicate properly. In case there is such situations, then please communicate such things and let the person be prepared. Else, don't start creating fear in them, stating that, hey, if you don't do this, you lose your job. You lose. So don't get into such a situation which can I would not say demotivate, which will not inspire them to work further or improve their productivity. Go ahead, Rangalakshmi Netrala, you said yes.
Yeah. The question is, would you consider the fear in investing in your team in terms of numbers versus investing in team as a quality?
Is he talking from a sales numbers?
I think in terms of your team, the number of people in your team.
Okay.
Versus investing in team as a quality.
Okay, good question. I mean, and I'm sure he's a doctor who must have asked this question. Netralaya must be the eye clinic, right? Okay. So just to answer your question, yes, many of the companies are looking at team compositions, looking at team productivity, looking at individual contribution. Hey, should I have so many people in that? Should I be investing now? Should I be investing in the training? Well, my answer to this question would be very clear. Now is the time to understand your team composition. Now is the time to understand the effectiveness of your team. Now is the time to train them, not with the intention of any rationalization at this point of time, but now is the time to train them in various skills which you did not get the time pre-COVID.
Okay.
At
So
least during this time, increase the skills, increase the efficiency of your team, and then think about measuring their productivity. Hope I've answered your question.
we have one more question. So the question is, will productivity of business increase or decrease after post-COVID world? What do you reckon is going to happen?
Will productivity increase or decrease after the post-COVID? I don't know when the post-COVID is going to happen. That's a big question mark at this point of time. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that next week we'll all be relaxed. But then, is the productivity going to increase? Yes, people have learned a lesson. Yes, people will start looking at various ways and innovate new ways, new processes within the organization. People will start ensuring that, hey, let's all work towards achieving the goals of the organization. Well, it's a lesson learned for various, not only for the owners of the company, but also for the employees of the company. Yes, the productivity will increase, and the owners of the company also will look at not keeping the numbers of the employees high, and look at maximum utilization of resources within their organization. And that is what will drive to success, and that is what will lead to productivity, and that is what will lead to high profitability.
Okay, so that was our last question, and with that we're coming to an end to today's session. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And now we're going to go into the feedback session. So yeah, you guys can post your feedback as a comment in the YouTube channel. We'd like to know what you guys think of our sessions. Positive or negative ones, we'd like to know both. If it's a negative one, we'd like to know, definitely would like to know it more, so that we can improve and work on our session, so that it is a better experience for you next time around. So this is a poster for tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session is on the topic, how to start your own gig. Session is going to be taken by Mr. Krishna Kumar, who's the CEO of Green Pepper. Session is going to be from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. So do take a note of the time. And so this is our call for interns. We are hiring interns. It is going to be work from home because of the current situation. And also we're looking for interns who have an interest towards digital marketing. You will be required to handle our various social media profiles and be a community manager basically. So if you guys are interested, please drop your resume at joinprayaana@gmail.com or contact 8590339393. So we look forward to hearing from you guys. And thank you so much. With that, we're coming to an end to today's session. Thank you once again for coming on the show and for answering all the questions. And you guys, don't forget to subscribe to us. Subscribe, like, and share. See you guys tomorrow, and stay home, stay safe.
Thank you.